vendor to present at Channel Engage is Frank Raimondi, VP of Channel Alliances and Partnership at Nodeware. After Frank presents, we'll bring it back up to select today's Channel Days winner. Make sure you're registered to win that. But Frank is a strategic channel marketing professional who specializes in bringing together organizations, develop strategies and programs producing highest value for all. Frank's currently, as I mentioned, VP of Channel Alliances and Partnerships for Nodeware, built by IGI CyberLabs, utilizing his over 30 years of outstanding background in the ITPC channels. Frank, you are up.
Wow, thank you. 30 years plus, it's starting to make me sound old, so I'll get right on to it. Anyway, thanks. It's great to be back on stage with the channel program, so appreciate the time. I'm going to focus a bit on sort of building a better stack, sort of this 4 legs are better than 3, and I'll explain that as we go along. But good to be here, and look forward to talking about cyber hygiene. Is really kind of the first element that I wanted to talk about, is just sort of looking for the key considerations of kind of wherever you're at in your stack development, whether you're starting out or adding, right? Continuous scanning is a critical element to being proactive in your hygiene. That proactive identification really is essential to lowering risk, whether it's your own risk internally or your customer's risk and how you're managing that. The proactive piece is really critical to that. Continuous vulnerability management, and make the distinction between assessment, is going beyond prospecting or filling out a form, kind of a once a year kind of deal. So we'll talk a little bit about that, but that's something to really strongly consider. And then really, we'd suggest, adding vulnerability management to complement, what we consider reactive EDR and SIM tools and other elements potentially in your stack. So, looking further to define assessment versus management in the realm of vulnerability. Vulnerability assessment is, again, kind of a one-time testing process, just sort of get a check mark, right? And you've seen with a lot of forms, or maybe you're trying to do just an initial assessment. It's, again, a one-time thing. Whereas management is really ongoing, continuous scanning of the environment, identifying vulnerabilities, being able to proactively repair before they become an issue, before they become something more dangerous. There's a third element in this space, which is penetration tests, which another part of our company also does, and we can explain that a little bit more in the breakout room, but just wanted to kind of make that 3-step clarification. Our goal at Nodeware and IGI CyberLabs is really to deliver 2 things. One is truly continuous scanning and useful data. Continuous scanning means, every minute we're looking at to see if devices are online. We're able to see if a new device comes onto the network and send alerts. We're able to provide other data and reports in that. Our focus from an MSPE's standpoint of using this tool is really the time to deployment. We've estimated it's 15-20 minutes that you can actually be up and running with a new customer and starting to collect that data. Our support is US based in Rochester, New York, and so we have quick, easy access, really fast turnaround time, and easy to understand people to talk with and get your any support issues needed resolved quickly. Remediation in the platform, we're actually able to provide specific recipes on how to remediate any of your issues and vulnerabilities that have been found. And then finally, our reporting is we have 9 different reports, from executive summary to a full network detail report that you can utilize in however you find necessary. So 3 opportunities really to kind of build your value and build MRR with vulnerability management. One is, identifying critical vulnerabilities daily, right? You can't wait for once a week, once a month, once a quarter scan and sort of work with that. You need to be working at it. And it also provides a potential opportunity for a project change or other SOW outside of just your daily management. The second piece is really kind of looking at, you're going to find a lot of vulnerabilities daily, but you really kind of need to keep focus on the top 10 or 20 that are critical, high, that range keeps the process manageable for your service team, and also keeps the customers most protected. And as you gain more time, as you get more efficient, you can work down the list. And then as we talked, you've heard about compliance. We'll hear some more. Right, our reports are what's needed in compliance, what's needed in audits, what's needed in FTC safeguards, et cetera, et cetera. So those starting with vulnerability management, you're able to support those tools. So what's the fourth leg? Fourth leg, as you might guess, is vulnerability management, right? Most compliance requirements, safeguards, et cetera, are requiring, an EDR, XDR, the small XDR, MFA and awareness training, and we're proposing that vulnerability management really needs to be that fourth leg of a stool to be more stable, more secure, and ultimate more protection. What that fourth leg adds to your stack, right? If you've got one of those first three, right, you gain as an MSP, the proactive search for vulnerabilities, right? It strengthens your stack. For your customers, they get more complete info and ultimately reducing their risk. On insurance, right, the data and reports that were provided, right, they're going to need those, whether they're applying for insurance or renewing, they're going to need those reports and the data. The proactive management in your side helps reduce the risk, which is what they're looking for. The customers gaining, easier, quicker forms, completion, and potentially lower premiums with the reduced risk. And the compliance management, right, you are getting and providing more data that's showing truly continuous management, and your customers are getting more full compliance. The 5 key features of Nodeware, just to call out, in case you hadn't guessed it, the truly continuous scanning for vulnerabilities is a key feature. We do that through a combination of network sensors, sort of a broad virtual sensor that can be placed on a network device, agents that can go onto clients and servers on-prem and off-prem, but really keeping track of your remote workers or your remote customers' workers, and external scanning. With all that, we provide real-time alerts of new devices coming onto the network, new vulnerabilities, and we provide reports, as I mentioned, that can be used for insurance and compliance. But the remediation recipes, really, we found most of our technicians and the MSPs are finding saving up to 20% time on a daily basis, just not having to research all the materials and how, I found a vulnerability, what do I do? Well, we actually help you provide that specific research and information in the tool. And then lastly, we have a lot of APIs, full extensive rate of use of APIs that you can feed into your RMM, your compliance management tool, and others that are available. We do sell via subscription, a 1-year subscription or consumption, pay as you go. You can pay directly through us or through distribution partners. Talking about distribution or partners in general, you see a range of partnerships, integrations, and alliances that we have underway. Some of these are fully functional, some of them are in process. But one, just to call out, Augment, who's coming up next. We're working with them on a better together message of adding vulnerability data, management data into the Windows and other management that they're doing is really an extra value add into there. Talevi does some things that are really powerful, Security Studio, risk assessments, et cetera. So keep an eye on this and talk to us in the break room. We'd love to tell you more. We do have some more in process and underway that, as a single tool, single focus tool, we can play well with others. So I'd like to talk to you a little, do some more. We'll do a little demo in the breakout room if that's of interest. We're giving away 5 $25 gift cards. It could be a food or it could be a Amazon. And also, if you like the shirt, you're welcome to request a shirt. We'll ship one out to you and go from there. But again, Frank Raimondi, please send me a note and follow up in our breakout. Look forward to talking with you all soon.
Excellent. Thanks, Frank.